Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, this is a place that I've never actually been to before, but it's probably about an hour's drive from where I live, so it's not too far away. This is Mount Korong. You can see there's lovely rock boulders all over this mountain here. And so I thought I'd come here and do some investigating just to see how it might line up for some nightscape images. At the moment, I'm in a bit of a, well, I guess a flattened valley part in the middle of two of the peaks here in the mount. Over that way, facing towards the east, there's a couple of nice trees here. I'm going to investigate a little bit more further over that way. And over here towards the west, there's a really clear, open perspective and lots of rocks on that hill over there. So I guess what I'm saying here, I've got two composition angles, depending on what time of year I decide to come back here. So currently we're in the middle of winter here. Once again, we've got a gorgeous day, although there are clouds predicted for tonight. At the moment it looks pretty good, but there's a fair bit of cloud there off to the west. We'll just have to wait and see, because I've been confused and foiled by the predictions before. But anyway, while I'm here, I'm just going to have a good look around and see if I can find some particular compositions that take my fancy. So let's go this way. Now, one of the compositions I like the look of here is just these two dead trees you can see behind me. So one there, one here, and I think that's facing towards the east, and the Milky Way core will rise up there very early. In fact, on dusk, the Milky Way is already up there behind this mountain over here, and it will come up behind the tree. I'll just have a bit of a look at it with photo pills and see what that looks like, just to confirm my suspicions. All right, so I've got my photo pills app out. I'm just going to check and see what it looks like. So currently, it's telling me the Milky Way core is just down here behind this tree on the right-hand side. Now, as I just scroll through the time, you can see there at about 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. tonight, the core is going to be right up there directly between and just above these two trees. And that would make a pretty good composition. And so that's one to keep in the memory banks. Good thing about this spot here is that the land slopes uphill, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to actually position my tripod and camera down here and already get a fair bit of the sky. So that could be a pretty good shot, and the two trees would look okay. So I've just walked up the hill here trying to find a composition that I think will look pretty good. Now, the biggest problem we've got here in this particular spot, there's just too many trees. I love the rocks. There's plenty of these big rocks around the place, and I think they could make a good foreground subject, and especially when you've got a whole mountain of them. But there's a lot of these twiggly old gum trees that don't particularly make me feel good about this location. So what I might do is just jump in the car and drive up here. There's a track that goes up the hill. I'll have a look and see if I can find something that's a little bit more open, because I want to be able to see the sky. One of the things I don't like doing is just having a composition that is really not having a foreground point of interest. It's okay to have a big landscape, and it's okay to have something that looks good on a grand scale. This doesn't, because of all those trees there. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm going to jump in the car, head off down the track and see what we can find. Now, just before I head off down that track, I just want to show you behind me here. You can see there's quite a wide expanse down here. Now, that's facing down towards the western sky, and there's a lot of rocks on that hill there. Now, notwithstanding what I said before about the trees getting in the way, I think this could be an okay composition for a time when there's a bit of moonlight, and I need the moonlight to light the rocks on that hill. Otherwise, it just becomes a black blob. Now, yeah, I could probably do a long exposure to get enough detail in the foreground, and I could possibly do that, but I sort of think just because there's so much detail there, I think just a crescent moon would work. Now, the problem is to get the Milky Way over the top of that hill, which it will happen any time from this month, July, August, September into October, is fine, but getting a crescent moon to line up with that is the problem. You see, the crescent moon is either low in the western sky or low in the eastern sky. Now, ideally, I would prefer the moon to be over in the eastern sky, because then it's actually throwing light onto the face here. A bit northeast would be even better. So in, let's just say, August, September, when the Milky Way is beautifully low there in the sky, the crescent moon is actually in the Milky Way over here in the east. And if I wait until a long way after full moon, in other words, when the the crescent moon is over in the eastern sky, well, the Milky Way's gone. It's already set down. So there's only certain times of the year, and I think I'll explain this in another video because it's a really interesting point, and it's more relative for those of you living in the southern hemisphere. But I think it's a good topic to discuss. But anyway, I still think this is a good composition, and I'll see if I can plan that for some time in my calendar. Anyway, I'm going to jump in the car and we're going to head off down the track. Okay, well, looks like this is where the track finishes. It comes here and then gets into some very rough terrain, too rough for me to bring the Subi into. There's quite a few tyre tracks up here and around up on that rock there where people have obviously gone through here, but a tree's fallen over, and just beyond that there's some very, very deep dig outs in the road, and the Subi's good, but it's probably not that good. So I'm going to turn around and go back and see what I can find a bit further down the road. This is what happens when you're searching for compositions for nightscapes. You have to do all of this legwork. Let me tell you, I just walked up on top of the hill. It looks pretty good up there, but I can't actually get the car up there. So I'm going to drive around and see what I can find. Hopefully we'll get something good. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure you can see in the background, but there's quite a bit of cloud cover coming across. Now looking at my Clear Outside app, let me just get that up and we'll have a look at it. I use, as you know, I use Clear Outside. It's a pretty accurate cloud predictor, and so I like to use that as my guide to what is going on here. Okay, so just looking at Clear Outside, oh wow, it's telling me that we're going to have 98% high cloud cover tonight. Now, yeah, it's probably over there. It's more than high cloud. There's a lot of low cloud and around the horizon. So where the core is going to come up over there, there's quite a lot of quite heavy cloud on the horizon. Straight above me, yep, plenty of high cloud. So to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if this mission is going to continue tonight, because it might just be a waste of time. So we'll just wait and see. Man, it's starting to get pretty cold out here. Well, as I said, I'm not 100% sure whether this expedition is going to continue tonight, just because of the cloud cover. Regardless of that, some things just never change. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a cuppa. I've got my thermos, I've got my cup here ready to go, and I'm really excited today. Let me just get this happening, because I've got a few extras that I brought along with me for the ride. So get that in there. Gee, I hope it's hot, because one thing I'd tell you about my Nightscape adventures, I don't like a cold cup of tea, or coffee for that matter, but I want to show you what I've got besides the tea. So what I've got here is Choc Viennese fingers, all the way from Aldi. That's a new one. I haven't well, I tried them once before and I actually liked them, but that's not the only thing. Have a look at this. On my way up here, there's got to be trade-offs for all of this road tripping I do. Have a look at this baby. There's one of my rumbles from the famous bakery where I live in Maiden Gully, Bendigo, Victoria, Australia. So any of you world travellers want to come and see a really good rum ball. By the way, it's not a rumble like a fight, it's a rum ball. Like rum, you know, like pirates drink, rum. Maybe it's got some in it, and maybe that's why I like them so much, I don't know. But anyway, first thing first, I'm going to try one of these Vienna fingers. And I'm going to dunk it. Oh, have a look at that. Fantastic. They got jam in them. It's not far off dark. You can see this rock here in the foreground. I really like that. It's 5:28 p.m. Milky Way is already above the horizon. I can't see it. I'm not sure I will see it because there's clouds coming. Gee, what a beautiful spot. I just had to climb up here though, that's the problem. Wow, this is fantastic. Oh, I'm really puffed now. I just climbed up the hill here, but I found this tree growing out of a rock. And as you can see there, the Milky Way core is right next to it. Whew. I'll see if I can get something here, but the clouds are rolling in, so I don't know if I can get it or not. But if I can, I'm coming up here. Okay, well, I've trekked my way halfway up the hill and it's not looking promising. I mean, the clouds have come across, it's not high cloud, I'm looking at quite solid, well, at least medium level cloud, if not some low level cloud in there, and I can't see any stars, and so I'm quite disappointed because there's a really good composition up there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just wait a little bit, but I might just have to call it quits and continue this story on another night when I got clear skies. So I'm really sorry about that, guys, but hey, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Oh boy. Well, I thought I'd just go a little bit further. I mean, you want to risk it for the biscuit sometimes, as a good friend of mine would say. But, oh dear, I've come a bit further, and as you can tell, the Milky Way's up there. I know where it is. I just can't see it. Oh, I'll tell you what, boy oh boy. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And the reason I changed my mind slightly was because over the other side there, it's clear. There's some clear sky. So whether it gets it over towards the east, oh, who would know? Anyway, I'm going to have a look around. Oh, boy, oh boy. All right, well, this is the composition that I really wanted to get. This old dead tree coming out of the rocks here. It actually looks fantastic. I can see a few stars down there, but whether I'm going to get the shot I'm after, well, I'm probably not. But, oh gee, it's nice up here. It's quite magical. Anyway, I've got to catch my breath. I don't know why I keep putting myself through this. Rock climbing. I hate rock climbing. Anyway, I'm going to wait here for a while and just see what happens. I'm really parched, but we made our way back to the car, so I'm happy. Now, I got a number of shots up there on that rock with the tree, and I just persisted. You know, I was this close to calling it a night and coming home, but the clouds did clear. Now, the low clouds cleared, but the prediction of 95% high cloud, well, that was accurate. So that stayed for the whole time. So, you know, I'll see how that goes. I took multiple shots. I took some single shots. I took stack shots. I took landscape, and I took portrait shots. I also took a pano on the way down the hill. So it was 3 rows, portrait orientation, I don't know, about 10 wide. I can't remember. My feet are killing me now. So anyway, you can have a look at those now and just see how they all came out. Alright, well, I'm just about to call it a night. I'm exhausted. Too much rock climbing. I don't know why I keep doing it, but anyway. Thanks so much, guys, for coming along on this journey today. It was a little bit disjointed. I realise that because I never actually got back to that first spot where we had a look earlier. It was just too difficult to get up and down this rock face. And to be honest with you, because of the cloud situation, I wasn't sure that I was going to get anything anyway. So anyway, that's beside the point. I'm happy with my adventure. I'm always happy with my adventures because I'm out here under the night sky. All right, anyway, you guys have a fantastic week and I'll see you next time.